All right, so today I just want to quickly come on here and briefly talk about disobedience and why I'm not going to have my turkey vlog up probably ever, or if I do have it up, it's going to be probably in shambles. And honestly, the reason why I think it's not going to go up is because of disobedience. So let's go ahead and kind of just get into it. Sorry if you hear Vance in the background tip-tapping around. I have hard floors. He's a dog. He needs to have his nails cut, so that is what you guys hear. But I want to start off talking about disobedience. So the first time that I experienced disobedience in my personal life was probably about 6 months before I purchased this house. I don't know how deep into that story I want to get, but this was the first time that I ever personally feel like I heard God's voice, specifically speaking to me. So I was going through a situation and I was working at a job kind of part-time while I still had my law firm going on, and it was basically my primary income but wasn't my primary passion. I love being an entrepreneur. I love having my job, but sometimes, especially when I was starting out the law firm was not making enough for me basically to pay my living expenses, so I had to have another job on top of that. So at the time, I was basically working these two jobs, working crazy hours, probably anywhere from like 60, honestly, to probably about 80 hours a week, if that's possible. I'm not good at math, so I don't know how possible that is. But basically, when I was working at like my 9-to-5 job on top of the firm, my 9-to-5 job got a 50% pay increase. And one of my goals my entire life was to, I guess my second goal outside of becoming an attorney by the age of 25 was to buy a house. And the reason why I thought this goal would be so hard, I talked about this in my other video, but it was because of the debt to income ratio. So when my 9-to-5 income basically doubled, I saw this as an opportunity to use that income to qualify for my house. And that's exactly what I did. And what I learned from that experience, I bought the house in what I learned from that experience is that I don't ever want to be disobedient to God and do something, go against what I believe He told me to do, because what comes as a result of disobedience in my life anyway is not worth the hassle. It's not worth the hassle. I almost lost my house. I was going literally like just crazy trying to keep a house that I got out of disobedience. So the point of me mentioning this is that another similar situation happened to me in my life, and I think the negative repercussions of that situation and of that decision that I made is ultimately from disobedience. Okay, so it's basically this YouTube channel. So the Lord has been telling me, I believe the Lord has been telling me to make this course. I talked about it in my first video, my welcome to my channel video. It's basically a software developer's guide to privacy and intellectual property law. So I feel like the Lord has given me this course to create probably for like 3 years at this point. And out of disobedience, I've been doing everything else but doing the course and creating the course that I know that I was supposed to create. So back in I think the end of 2022, I got this course. I thought it was a great idea. Not the course that I'm working on now, but I got the idea of creating a course. It's my FIDI course. FIDI stands for from idea to innovation. It was basically like a 9-week course for early stage startups and entrepreneurs, yada, 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 work stuff. So ultimately, that course was so easy for me to create because I can talk about IP and business formation all day. It's literally the bare bottom of things that I do at the firm. And creating that course, again, was not something difficult for me to do. And I launched that course. It wasn't super unsuccessful. I didn't really make any profit off of it. And the reason why, again, I believe that I did not make profit from that course is because that was not the course I was supposed to create. I was supposed to create the privacy course. So I ended up, that FIDI program was live. I ended up taking it down from being live, basically modifying the content and making it to like evergreen content. So that FIDI program is still available, but I don't have to actively teach it. Then it came to me, so that was in 2024 that I basically made it like an asynchronous course, meaning that I don't teach it live. That was in 2020. I launched it originally in 2023, and 2024, last year, is when I made the asynchronous version of that course. And throughout 2024, I knew that the reason why that course was not successful is because that was not the course that I feel like God told me to create. I feel like he told me to create this software course. And because what I'm now learning is that that software course is literally molding me this dog. Creating that software course is literally molding me and forcing me to, for one, they say that when you teach something, you learn it better. So it's forcing me to relearn all the stuff that I thought I knew about privacy law and how it relates to basically software development and, intellectual property law and how it relates to software development. So I'm forcing myself to not just relearn the information, but to relearn the information to apply it in the specific industry of software development, and then to regurgitate that information to other people in the way that not only can they understand it, but in a way that also allows them to implement it in their business and make their business profitable and protect their interests. So back on the topic of disobedience. So the reason why I now know, because again, this course has been percolating, I don't know if that's the right word, but basically percolating since about 2022, the end of 2022, I think that's when I got the first download about it. It's been percolating for like 3 years and I've done nothing with it. So in 2024, I realized what I was supposed to be doing with this course. But I just could not get the work done. I could not sit down and just start outlining it, just because of, again, fear. So much work I knew had to go into this, and I just don't think I was ready. I don't think I saw what that process of creating the course was ultimately supposed to do for me, if that makes sense. So around the same time, everyone has always wanted to create a YouTube channel. I have another YouTube channel that's primarily related to work stuff. I have so many hidden videos on there from 2008 through 2010 or 11 maybe. Basically all of middle school and all of high school, I was recording, I would say primarily middle school, I was just recording nonsense and putting it on YouTube before YouTube became what it was now. I realized maybe 6 years ago that those videos were still public, so I finally hid them. Anyways, I've always wanted to find an expressive outlet to kind of share my experiences with the world, but I just never wanted to do it. When I realized I was going to Greece, I was like, oh, now's a perfect opportunity. Let me go ahead and, try it again this time, because I tried it last time when I went to the first global challenge that was in 2023, but I was recording on my phone. It just wasn't very successful. So this time I was like, oh, before my trip, I'll go ahead and invest in a camera. Meanwhile, I believe investing in the camera, for one, is disobedient, because girl, why are you buying this camera when you really need to sit your behind down at home and start working on outlining this course that you were supposed to outline? So then I came to the idea. I ended up basically I used ChatGPT to basically make an outline and a to-do list for what I needed to do to draft this course. Again, I had the outline, but I just didn't have the motivation to really get it done. Then I'm on my trip in Greece. You guys saw the Greece footage, the Turkey footage. Again, you're probably not going to see because it's probably not going to come out. So then I am, I come back home. I do that whole trip. I kind of started working on the course. Basically, I started editing the videos for the YouTube channel. I was in London. I'm all over the place, but long story short, I know that this YouTube and creating content is not where my extra time. I have very little bit of time left in my calendar, and with that time, I need to be focusing it on doing my course, not obviously recording videos for a YouTube channel that I feel like God has not told me to create. So what I thought was a good idea was that I would work on the YouTube and I would work on the privacy course kind of simultaneously. And when I finished, a section of working on the privacy course, then I would go and I would edit a video. And that was the plan that I kind of had back, basically trying to, what I believe to be, negotiate with God to allow him to let me create this YouTube channel. Meanwhile, I'm also doing, the will that I believe he has for my life by creating this course. Y'all, tell me how I was using the camera. I was just going through the settings on the camera, and there was a button that said format SD card. I don't know what format means. I just thought it was I don't know what I thought format was. Tell me how it literally erased all of the footage on my SD card. So I lost all of my Turkey footage. I lost pretty much everything. I ended up finding 2 different softwares that could pull the information back. I think between those 2 different softwares, maybe $200. Again, me spending more money investing on something that God has not told me to do, but yet here I am. Literally lost all the footage, paid about $200 to kind of get the footage back. I got some of the footage, but it skips. There's no audio on one half of it. The video is not playing on the other half of it. Literally, I just wasted this money on, like, I'm just literally in shock, and I'm laughing at myself because I'm so frustrated. I'm so disappointed. And to me, I haven't had the Lord speak to me clearly like he did back in 2021 when I literally heard him. All he said was like, leave. Like a loud voice, just leave. And I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I was disobedient, and I went ahead and used the house or used the job to qualify for the house, yada, yada, yada. So I didn't, this time around, I did not hear his voice as clearly as I did the first time. But I know, I really feel in my spirit, the reason why I lost that footage is because that is not what I was here to do. That is not what I was supposed to be doing. And that's just one, I believe that that's just one of the ways that he's just kind of using me as an example. Don't be me. If you know what the calling is for your life, don't be like me. Don't be disobedient. Just get it done. And I feel like the sooner you get it done, the better things will work out for you. So that is kind of what I'm going through. That is a quick blurb as to what's happening with the turkey footage. So yeah, I don't know where life is going to take me. I'm still working on this course. I was setting up today. I was basically planning my goals today and kind of getting everything set up for the new year. And I do want to launch it before Q2 or very early in Q3. So maybe April? I don't know when, January, February, March. Yeah, maybe like in April at the latest. But yeah, just be very cautious and being disobedient. I've learned the hard way. I guess this will be my second time what it's like to be disobedient. And I told myself that the first time it happened, I never want to do something that I know is not in alignment with the purpose and the vision that God has for me, because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, share it with a friend, like it, comment below. Let me know about a time you feel like. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you found this information and my story helpful. If you resonate, if it sounds familiar, definitely leave a comment below about maybe your disobedience and how my experience of my disobedience can hopefully help you or has helped you. Yeah, I know I probably said about 12 times in this outro, so I will chat with you guys later, and I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day.